Hi, Digital Golf Doc here to talk about ground reaction forces and the golf swing. So ground reaction forces are the interaction between your feet and the ground, allowing you to create speed in your hips, which eventually you're going to transfer to the club head. So if you want to increase your club head speed, you've got to utilize ground reaction forces. So before I get into any more explanation, I just want to demonstrate what they are and what they look like. So notice I'm going to take a practice swing here, but I'm on a hardwood floor, which is pretty slippery, and I've got socks on. So I want you to pay attention to what happens to my feet. So you'll notice as I started that downswing, my lead leg went forward and out. My trail leg went backwards and out. I'm going to show you that one more time. And the same things happen. So that's me trying to produce ground reaction forces, but I'm not getting them or not maximizing them because my feet are moving. In the golf swing, your feet are going to be stable because there's friction. That's why you wear cleats. This allows you to make that force go to your hips, and you can eventually get it to the club head. So, for example, if I've got a lever here and I push this part of the lever forward, what happens to the grip part of the glove? It goes backwards. So that's a reaction force. I'm producing force here, and the reaction is the grip end going that way. So if I push into the ground and there's friction, I'm not going to get any movement in my foot, but my hip is going to go back this way. So notice it's opposite of where I pushed. Same thing with the trail leg. I'm pushing against the ground like my foot's going to slide backward, so my hip's going to come forward. I do those together, and that's where we get the rotation from our hips. So that's utilizing ground reaction forces to create hip speed, which is going to end in club head speed. Now the question is, how do you train this in your golf swing? Well, there's a few different ways you can do that. One, you can just practice with it. I found some players can line up over the ball, do that drill on hardwood or something where they slide, and then just think about it and put it in the swing. I've seen people immediately add 3, 4, 5 miles an hour club head speed. Now, it's not always that easy for everyone, and if you truly want to maximize it, you really have to develop training around it. So if you're going to get drills, that's a great place for a golf instructor to step in and give you some technique drills. Now, what I do on the golf fitness and performance side is I assign a lot of medicine ball work and jumping drills. So let me set this down. And if I were to take a medicine ball, I'm going to wind up here, and my hips are going to move just like in a backswing. And when I come back the other way, they're going to move like they do in the downswing. So what I want to do is when I make that medicine ball throw, I want to drive my feet just like I'm taking a golf swing, right? Again, I'm on hardwood, so I'm going to slide. But if I've got shoes on or I'm on something a little bit more sturdy, what's going to happen is I'm going to whip those hips. And that's what should initiate your medicine ball throw. And you want it to be just like the golf swing because that stuff transfers and carries over well when you do it like that. The other way to do it is rotation jumps. So I'm going to do a 90-degree jump, for example. I want to load into one hip, use the ground to create my rotation. So watch my feet here. I can create my rotation sinking into a hip and turning this way. Now, some people I've seen, they'll do this. They'll jump and then they'll turn. That's not going to translate to the golf swing nearly as well. You've got to practice utilizing the ground to create that rotation. Now, there's a million variations. You can do split stance medicine ball throws. You can do different jumps. You can do 90 degrees. You can do 180. It doesn't matter. What matters is your intent when you're completing the exercise. I say it all the time. Intent is everything in an exercise. You could write the best exercise plan in the world, but if you don't bring the intensity, you're not going to get anywhere. So